Hello everybody, Beth McCoy, certified CBD coach as well as holistic health coach with Hope for Natural Health. And today I wanted to cover the subject of marijuana versus hemp. So marijuana and hemp are in the same family, but they are two different plants. They're cousins. Marijuana is high in THC, low in CBD, while hemp is high in CBD and low in THC. So many times I will have a customer who comes up to me before they are my customer, and they say, I've heard lots of benefits of CBD oil, but since it comes from marijuana, I don't really want to use it. So I'm here today to expel that myth. CBD oil actually comes from hemp, which is high in CBD and low in THC. In fact, in order for CBD oil to be sold legally in the US, it must be 0.3% or less THC. The product that I recommend to everybody and the product that I use myself, actually depending on the plant, ranges from 0.03 to 0.08% THC. So it's very, very low in THC and there are no psychoactive effects. It is so very important before you go out and buy CBD oil, because you know you've seen it everywhere. It's on every street corner. There's shops here, there, and everywhere. It's very important that you make sure you know where the hemp is grown. Because hemp, when it is grown, if there are any toxins, pesticides, leads, and other contaminants in the soil, it actually absorbs everything from the soil into the plant. So that means if there are things like pesticides and leads and other contaminants in the soil, you are going to be put at risk of actually having that in the product that you're going to use every day in order to see the great benefits. You also want to know the extraction method used. There is clean extraction and then there is cheap extraction. Cheap extraction method actually uses things like ethanol and alcohol to extract the CBD from the hemp plant, heating it to high heats, which potentially risks breaking down the CBD so that the CBD is not as potent and won't work properly to help you with whatever goals you're trying to achieve and relief you're trying to see. There's also clean extraction. Clean extraction uses CO2 cold press method. There is no chemicals, there are no harmful solvents, nothing used in this extraction method. So this is the way to go. Make sure that whatever product you're using uses CO2 cold press method. Another important thing that many people do not know is that you need to look at certificates of authentication before you buy your product. Early on, when I first started using CBD, not a lot of companies had certificates of authentication. This is so very important because it will show the potency of each of the different cannabinoid compounds within the plant, and it'll also show antimicrobial testing, hopefully, if they are performing this test and it's on the certificate of authentication. Unfortunately, I have found lots of companies that only have the potency test and they don't actually test for the antimicrobial, which is very important because this is going to show if it contains any molds or fungus. I've also seen certificates of authentication that have tested for leads and arsenic and other harmful chemicals, and many of the companies that I've looked at on the certificates of authentication have not had anything but the potency. With the antimicrobial testing, the reason that is so important is a couple months back I was reviewing a CBD oil for a potential client, what she was taking, and it actually had molds and fungus in it. I researched that specific mold and fungus, and the health risks with that mold and fungus, using it every day and having it in your body, was very, very high, all of the health risks. So you want to make sure that there are no molds, no fungus, no leads, no arsenic, nothing like that present in your oil. So that's so important to make sure that you are buying from a reputable company that does test for potency as well as do the antimicrobial testing. There are also different kinds of CBD oil. There's so many different kinds. There's water soluble, and then there's the CBD oil. You have some products that are just so highly diluted because they have so many ingredients. Well, I'm going to talk to you about the water soluble. Some companies claim that since our bodies are made up of 90% water, oil and water do not mix. This is a false. CBD oil is actually absorbed into your bloodstream when taken properly with guidance from whoever you're buying it from that hopefully is educated on the proper way to take. It's absorbed directly into your bloodstream where you get 98% absorption, and then it goes throughout your body to feed your CB1, CB2 receptors that are within our endocannabinoid system. Water-soluble CBD, actually, once it is extracted from the hemp, they then take chemicals and harmful solvents and break down the CBD so it's not in its purest form and make it water soluble. So I've had customers that have come to me saying that the CBD that they've tried in the past, it worked the first few days, but then it stopped working or it never worked at all. A lot of times this has been because they were using something water soluble that breaks down the CBD and makes it not as effective. Plus the chemicals and the solvents that are potentially in your product that you are using every single day, which can't be good. Ingredients. You want to look at the list of ingredients on your CBD because many companies, in order to make more of a profit, are going to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ingredients. Some of the ingredients that are in most all CBDs that are not necessary are MCT and coconut oil, glycerin, and many others. These just serve to dilute the CBD so that they are having to use less CBD in each bottle. This in turn makes it to where you are less likely to see any benefits and any relief at all. The product that I use every day and that I'm able to help so many of my clients with actually only has 2 ingredients: hemp seed oil and CBD. We found with our company that hemp seed oil and the CBD from the plant, we use the whole plant. They work much better together than not. There's also the science on how to take CBD. Wherever you purchase your CBD from, you want to make sure that you are getting proper instructions on how to take it. This is just a dietary supplement, so there's just going to be usually 20 drops on the bottle. If you start out with 20 drops on the bottle, you're not going to see any benefits. You're going to shock your system and you're just not going to see benefits at all. It may make you sleepy, but you won't see any benefits. Okay, I'd just like to kind of recap, if you were writing this stuff down, recap the top things that you need to know before you purchase CBD and take CBD, or so that you can go to your medicine cabinet and actually look at the CBD that you have currently on hand. You want to know where the hemp is grown. You want to know the extraction method. You also want to be sure that you view the certificates of authentication before purchase. Over the last several years, many of the companies that I have actually researched have claimed to have certificates of authentication, but they don't actually give them to the person looking at the CBD until after purchase, that is a huge red flag to me. And you also want to look at the ingredient label. If there's any more than 3 or 4 ingredients in it, you're wasting your time and your money. And it's going to be so diluted, you may see benefits in the beginning when you first start taking it if you've never taken CBD at all. But for the long term, it's not going to work as well. And you're probably spending quite a bit more money than you could be if you were buying a pure high quality product. You also want to make sure that, in my opinion, I know you want to stay away from the water soluble because of the fact that they use chemicals and solvents to break down the CBD. It's not in its purest form. It's actually broken down, so it's not going to be as effective. Most water-soluble CBDs, actually, they instruct you to swallow it, so it's going to go through your digestive tract, and you're not going to get the absorption like you do when you take it sublingually under your tongue, and it's absorbed 98% into your bloodstream, where it will go throughout your body, feeding your CB1, CB2 receptors that way. Please, if you found value in this video, I'm going to be coming on once a week, going over lots of different topics about CBD as well as other natural health solutions. So if you've found value in this video, please subscribe. Please share it with your family and your loved ones, friends that would find value in this too. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm also on Google. Reach out to me if you have any questions or you would like to chat. See if there's any way that I may be able to help you. Thank you, and I hope you have a blessed day.